Have you ever found yourself lying awake at 3 a.m., your mind racing with thoughts you can't seem to stop? Or maybe you've been in the middle of an important presentation when suddenly that voice in your head whispers, "You're going to fail." What if I told you that those thoughts don't have to control you? That you can actually be the one in control? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into something that affects every single one of us, but that few of us have mastered: how to control your thoughts. The average person has around 6,000 thoughts per day. That's 6,000 opportunities for your mind to either support you or sabotage you. But here's the thing: most people don't realize they have a choice in how they respond to these thoughts. In the next 15 minutes, I'm going to share with you the 5-step system that completely transformed my relationship with my thoughts. This isn't about positive thinking affirmations or ignoring negative thoughts. This is about developing a fundamental understanding of how your mind works and creating a practical system to take back control. And stick around until the end, because I'll be sharing the one technique that made all the difference for me. Something so simple yet so powerful that it could change everything for you, starting today. Before we can control our thoughts, we need to understand them. Our brains are pattern recognition machines. They've evolved to identify threats, seek rewards, and conserve energy. This means our thoughts often fall into predictable patterns. Let me walk you through the 3 most common thought patterns that cause us trouble. First, catastrophizing, when our mind jumps to the worst possible outcome. I made a mistake on that report. I'm going to get fired. I'll never find another job. Second, personalizing, when we assume everything is about us or caused by us. The meeting got rescheduled. My boss must be upset with my performance. And third, black and white thinking, seeing situations as all good or all bad with no middle ground. If I don't get this perfect, I'm a complete failure. These patterns served our ancestors well when they were avoiding predators, but in our modern world, they often create unnecessary suffering. The good news is that once you can recognize these patterns, you've already taken the first step toward changing them. Step 1 in our system is what I call the observation technique. This is about creating distance between you and your thoughts. Try this with me right now. Close your eyes for a moment and notice what thoughts are passing through your mind. Now, instead of being those thoughts, imagine you're sitting on a riverbank, watching those thoughts float by like leaves on a stream. Did you notice how that simple shift in perspective already changes your relationship with those thoughts? You're no longer caught up in them, you're observing them. Neuroscience shows us that this practice of mindful observation actually changes our brain activity. When we observe our thoughts instead of identifying with them, we activate our prefrontal cortex, the part of our brain responsible for reasoning and decision-making, rather than letting our amygdala run the show with emotional reactions. I recommend practicing this observation technique for just 2 minutes each morning. Set a timer, close your eyes, and simply notice what thoughts arise without judging them or trying to change them. Step 2 is the thought audit. Now that you can observe your thoughts, it's time to evaluate them. We often accept our thoughts as absolute truth without questioning them. But thoughts are not facts. They're simply electrical impulses in our brain, influenced by our past experiences, current mood, and even what we ate for breakfast. Here's how to conduct a thought audit. When you notice a particularly strong or troubling thought, ask yourself these 3 questions. Is this thought actually true? Or is it an assumption? Is this thought helpful to me right now? Would I say this to someone I care about? Let me give you a personal example. Last year, I was preparing for a major presentation when the thought hit me: I'm not qualified to speak on this topic. Instead of letting that thought spiral, I put it through the audit. Is it true that I'm not qualified? Well, I had researched the topic extensively and had relevant experience. Is this thought helpful? Definitely not. It was undermining my confidence. Would I say this to a friend in my position? Absolutely not. I'd point out their expertise and encourage them. This simple audit helped me recognize the thought as unhelpful and not aligned with reality, which allowed me to let it go and proceed with confidence. Step 3 is pattern interruption. When you find yourself caught in a negative thought spiral, you need a way to break the pattern. Our brains form neural pathways that strengthen with repetition. The more we think a certain thought, the more automatic it becomes. Pattern interruption is about redirecting your brain onto a different track. Here are 3 effective pattern interrupters you can use. Physical changes. Stand up, change your posture, or splash cold water on your face. Physical movement can immediately shift your mental state. The 5-4-3-2-1 technique: name 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. This brings you into the present moment and out of your thought spiral. The absurdity method: imagine your negative thought being said in a cartoon character's voice. This reduces its power and helps you see its irrationality. These pattern interrupters work because they activate different neural pathways, giving you a chance to consciously choose your next thought rather than following the automatic pattern. Steps 4 and 5 work together: thought redirection and consistent practice. Once you've interrupted a negative thought pattern, you need somewhere to direct your mind. This isn't about forced positive thinking, it's about intentional focus. Here's how it works. For each common negative thought you experience, create an alternative thought that is both realistic and helpful. The key is that this alternative must be something you actually believe. For example, if you often think, "I never follow through on anything," a realistic redirection might be, "I've successfully completed projects in the past, and I can apply what I learned from those experiences to this current challenge." Keep a list of these redirections somewhere accessible in your phone notes or on a small card in your wallet so you can reference them when needed. Now, step 5 is where the magic happens: consistent practice. Rewiring your thought patterns isn't a one-time event. It's a practice. Neuroscience shows that creating new neural pathways requires repetition. Cut to B-roll of person practicing various mindfulness activities. Commit to practicing these techniques daily for at least 21 days. Research indicates this is the minimum time needed to begin establishing new habits. I recommend setting a reminder on your phone to check in with yourself 3 times a day and apply these techniques. Remember, controlling your thoughts isn't about never having negative thoughts. It's about developing the awareness and skills to choose which thoughts you engage with and which ones you let go. Now, as promised, here's the bonus technique that was truly transformative for me: the future self conversation. When I find myself stuck in negative thought patterns, I imagine having a conversation with my future self, the version of me who has already overcome this challenge. I ask them, "What would you tell me right now? What did you do to get through this?" This technique accomplishes something remarkable. It activates the problem-solving parts of your brain and helps you access wisdom you already have but might not be connecting with. To summarize what we've learned today, understand your thought patterns by recognizing catastrophizing, personalizing, and black and white thinking. Practice observing your thoughts to create distance. Audit your thoughts by questioning their truth and usefulness. Interrupt negative thought patterns with physical changes or mental techniques. Redirect your thoughts to realistic alternatives. And most importantly, practice consistently. Gaining control over your thoughts is a skill that will serve you in every area of your life, from your career to your relationships to your personal growth. It's not about achieving perfect control. It's about developing a healthier relationship with your own mind. If this video has helped you, please hit that like button. It really does help the algorithm share this information with others who might benefit. And if you're new here, consider subscribing for more content on personal development and mental mastery. Let me know in the comments which of these techniques you're going to try first, or share what's worked for you in controlling your thoughts. I read every comment and love hearing about your experiences. Until next time, remember, your thoughts may be automatic, but your response to them is always your choice. I'll see you in the next video.